In the quiet aftermath of profound loss, when the world has moved on and the headlines have faded, there remains a silence that screams louder than any accusation. This is the story of Margaret Loke, a widow from the San Francisco Bay Area whose life in late 2025 unraveled thread by thread through a screen no larger than her palm. She did not chase greed. She did not seek fortune. She simply longed for connection after years of solitude. And in that most human of vulnerabilities, she lost nearly $1 million and something far more irreplaceable. What happened to Margaret is not an anomaly. It is the perfected architecture of a new kind of predation, one that weaponizes intimacy, exploits attachment, and leaves its victims questioning not just their judgment, but their very capacity to trust again. Today, we descend into the psychological abyss of the pig butchering scam, a phenomenon that in 2025 alone has drained billions from ordinary people worldwide. This is not just a financial exposé. This is an examination of the human soul under siege. Margaret's story began innocently enough, as all the most devastating ones do. A message on Facebook from a man calling himself Ed, successful, kind, attentive. He claimed a wrong number mix-up, apologized with charm, and somehow the conversation lingered. Psychologists refer to this initial phase as mirroring, the deliberate reflection of a victim's desires, values, and emotional voids. Ed listened to Margaret speak of her late husband, her quiet days, her cautious hope for companionship, and he echoed it all back, perfectly calibrated. Over weeks that stretched into months, the exchanges became ritual. Good mornings, good nights, shared jokes, dreams for a future neither had dared voice aloud. This is the essence of pig butchering, not a hasty grab for money, but a slow, deliberate cultivation of limerence, that intoxicating state of obsessive romantic longing characterized by intrusive thinking, emotional dependency, and idealization of the other. Scammers understand attachment theory better than many therapists. They exploit anxious attachment styles common in widows and widowers, the fear of abandonment, the craving for reassurance, building a bond that feels profoundly real because for the victim, it is real. Once trust was absolute, Ed introduced the idea gently. "I've been fortunate in cryptocurrency," he said. "My uncle taught me a private platform, nothing risky, just smart moves." He guided Margaret step by step, a small investment first, then the profits appeared, illusory numbers on a beautifully designed fake app, engineered to mimic legitimacy. Each fabricated gain triggered a dopamine surge, reinforcing the bond. This is intermittent reinforcement at its most cruel, the same psychological mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. Wins come just often enough to keep hope alive. Margaret liquidated her IRA, took out loans, watched her balance supposedly climb toward millions. She wasn't reckless, she was in love, or what her brain had been expertly convinced was love. Neurochemically, the experience mirrors genuine romance, elevated oxytocin, flooded reward pathways. The scammer becomes the source of both emotional sustenance and apparent financial salvation. When doubts crept in, Ed soothed them. When she hesitated, he expressed disappointment, triggering fear of loss. This is textbook trauma bonding, where intermittent kindness amid manipulation creates fierce loyalty. Then came the fees, the taxes, the account verification deposits. Each new demand drained more, until one day the platform froze, Ed vanished, the money was gone. Her realization came not through logic, but through desperation. She asked ChatGPT to analyze her story. The AI's blunt response, "This is a scam," shattered the illusion. But the true horror lies beyond one woman's tragedy. Behind Ed stood an industrial-scale operation, fortified compounds in Myanmar and Cambodia, where thousands, many trafficked and enslaved, are forced to run these scripts under threat of violence. In 2025, U.S. authorities seized networks linked to billions in stolen crypto, Cambodian tycoons sanctioned, yet the machine persists, fueled by human suffering on both ends. Victims like Margaret don't just lose money, they suffer complex grief compounded by betrayal trauma, a psychological injury akin to PTSD, marked by shattered self-concept, chronic shame, and eroded trust in their own discernment. What does it mean for our society when loneliness can be monetized with such precision? When algorithms and AI amplify manipulation, turning human connection into a vector for exploitation? Margaret's story forces us to confront uncomfortable truths, that intelligence offers no immunity against emotional need, that the desire to be seen, truly seen, remains one of our deepest vulnerabilities. In an age of digital isolation, the scammers don't need to breach our firewalls. They simply offer what we're missing, and we, in our longing, open the door. If someone you've never met in person asks you to invest, especially in crypto, through a private platform, it is a scam, full stop. Real love does not require secrecy. Real opportunity does not isolate you from advice. Protect yourself. Protect those you love. Talk about these stories without judgment, because the next Margaret is already receiving that first message. Thank you for watching Money Mysteries. If this resonated, share it. Awareness is the only antidote we have.